I started this channel making videos about cutting glass bottles. Recently, I decided to use some of these techniques to make a wind chime from a glass bottle. Although the techniques themselves worked for this project, the project as a whole didn't. I think I know why, but I would like some feedback so that I can try again with some advice from my viewers. This video is episode 5 of my failed experiment series. The other videos of the series are uploaded on my second YouTube channel. I drew 4 spirals around this bottle. I did that by putting some tape in place, and using a marker, I traced the edge of the tape. Each of the spirals wrap all of the way around the bottle. I use these markings to show me where I need to guide the crack. I'll be removing the bottom of this bottle before I start cracking these spirals. But before I remove the bottom, I'll be scoring these spirals. When scoring these spirals, I do not score the entire mark that I made. I only score about an inch or so of the length. These score marks are where I will start the crack, and I chose to score them at the curved part of the glass because it's easier to start the crack around a curve. With these score marks made, I'm about ready to remove the bottom of the bottle. From my past experiences, I know that during this process, I will rub off the spiral markings with my hands. So to prevent this, I just tape over the markings to protect them for now. No need to cover all of the glass, just the markings. Once the markings are covered, I remove tape from the bottom where I will be cutting the bottle. I use the scoring jig that I made a few years ago to score around the bottle. I have already adjusted it for where I want to score the bottle. I just need to put the bottle cutting tool back in place. Now I can score around the bottle. Using the technique that I did in the first video that I made for this channel, I used a soldering iron to heat up and crack the bottle along the score line. A lot of people have asked what wattage of iron will work. In my first video I used a 30-watt iron, but this one is a 15-watt. If you're interested in the details about this process, I have a card in this video that will help you find that video. Also, I'm skipping most of this step for this video, but on my second channel, I have a video with this entire process for cutting off this bottom. When I get the end of the crack to be about 1/8 of an inch from the beginning of the crack, it stops moving. I don't know why it stops, but this is normal and it always happens. I grab the bottle and lightly pull on the 2 parts. Don't force it very much. If it doesn't pull apart easily, heat the uncracked portion a bit more and try again. When it's ready, it will pop apart easily. Forcing it apart will cause it to break unevenly. With the bottom removed, you can see that the cut is fairly straight. I did not sand this cut because the project as a whole didn't work out. But if you do this, you'll want to sand down the sharp edges. I also have a video for that. Now I remove the tape from one of the spirals and start working on the crack. For this crack I use a technique from one of my most popular videos. I start the crack at the score line that I made earlier, then I guide that crack along the spiral mark that I drew. My camera stopped recording for part of this, but here you can see that I have 2 of the spirals done. These cracks don't go all the way to the edge of the bottle, so I need to help them out by hand. I put on some gloves to do this just in case the bottle breaks more than I want it to. I gently work the cracks to break through, but the bottle still doesn't separate. I go ahead and crack the bottle along the other 2 spirals. Here I have some good footage of me guiding the cracks. For the top of the bottle, I tried dragging the crack through the bottle's cap threads. I've done this before with my 30-watt soldering iron, but with this 15-watt one, I couldn't get the crack to go through. I decided to drag the cracks around the top instead. With my gloves on, I pop the top off, then I try separating the spirals. At the bottom of the bottle, I can see and feel the spirals separating slightly, but they are not moving enough to remove from the bottle. Even though the cracks go all the way through the glass itself isn't flexible enough to move out of place. The sections are too tightly interlocked together, at least with this much of a spiral. As with all of my videos, especially my failed experiments videos, any ideas and feedback are welcome. I'm planning on returning to this in the future once I figure out how to get these sections to separate, and also when I get a better way of recording bottle projects without so many reflections in the glass. You can check out all of my other failed experiments videos on my second channel. Thank you for watching.